and welcome to the Nasboys Sports Podcast. Now, did you know that Michael Phillips has won more Olympic gold medals than 161 entire nations? So, anyways, guys, welcome to the Nasboys Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Mike, aka Mike Bobfam 101, with my good friends and co-hosts Christian, aka Seawill,
What's up?
and Cam, aka Ice by Cam.
Howdy, y'all.
So let's get started with some sports news. We're going to start out with the NFL. We got a lot of news tonight in most sports, but we will kick it off with the NFL. The Hall of Fame player inductees are Charles Woodson, Peyton Manning, Alan Fensana, Calvin Johnson, and Drew Pearson. The coach inductees are Tom Flores, and the Hall of Fame contributor is Bill Nunn. So congratulations to those guys, especially Peyton Manning and Calvin Johnson. Those guys definitely deserve to be in there.
Oh, don't forget to show some love to my boy Charles Woodson.
Yes.
Drew Pearson is a good wide receiver too. Back in the day, he was a really good player. But I never really heard of Alan Faneca. Is that how you say it?
I have never heard of him.
I've never heard of him either.
Congratulations to them too. But yeah, I've heard of Woodson. But yeah, congratulations to all of them. Okay, so the Bills have agreed to a 6-year, $258 million contract extension with Josh
Allen.
Josh Allen. I forgot his name. Sorry, my apologies. It's been a long day, everybody. Josh Allen through 2027. I think that this is a great move for them. What do you guys think?
It's too much money. I don't think anyone should really, football-wise, get paid that much money. But it is interesting and a good move for the Bills because he's been playing pretty well for them. So it is a good move, but really expensive.
Yeah, I think personally that I have to agree with Savage here. I could see why they would give him that much, but he's still very young, and if his career was to come, to an end shortly, so I hope that never happens. But if it does, I mean, they get screwed out of $258 million right there. And I think really they should have had baby steps because you never know. He could slowly just turn into crap. I mean, I hate to say it, but we've seen guys like that happen to them. But I do think, this year, I do think he is going to get MVP. I know it's a wild statement, but I think Josh Allen is going to get MVP. This man is a GOAT for sure. He's insane.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely one of the best quarterbacks. I think he's easily a top 5 quarterback. I think that he deserves the money. I mean, I can see where, Christian, you would say that it's a little too much because, they still got to pay Stephon Diggs and I think a couple other players on their roster. But yeah, I definitely think he deserves that big contract. So now let's get into the next topic here. We got from the NFL. James Washington has requested a trade due to lack of playing time. Or is it because he didn't want to deal with the TikTokers in Juju Smith-Schuster and Chase Claypool?
Yeah, the 13-year-old girls. Yeah,
Hey, chill out now. My Steelers, man, we've been going through some rough games recently. We always seem to do pretty well in the regular season recently, but we just can't quite do well in the playoffs, it seems. We can't get by the Patriots, and last year we couldn't get by the Browns, for goodness sake. And Washington, I feel like he had plenty of playing time, so I don't know why he's whining. But I thought Juju Smith-Schuster was gone from the team. Wouldn't surprise me if he's still on it. But at the same time, get off the TikTok and focus on the field.
Yep.
Savage said it best.
Yeah, I mean, I think that James, he got a decent amount of playing time, I guess. I didn't really watch the Steelers too much all season.
Antonio Brown 2.0.
Well, yeah. I think that he should probably get traded. I mean, the Steelers are dumb for that, but if he wants to be moved, be moved. I don't blame him. I mean, I don't really see the Steelers doing too much, so we'll see. Next up, I gotta cut this out. We got Kenny Galladay is expected to miss 2 to 3 weeks due to a hamstring injury. Free agent quarterback Robert Griffin III is joining ESPN for a broadcasting gig, which I was not expecting RG3 to join that. I remember him being on Washington and being really good, and then he got injured and got forced onto the field thanks to Mike Shanahan.
And him and Kirk Cousins having a big rivalry.
Yes.
I remember this. You know, I don't know. Like, I don't.
I just want to say real quick. I actually put up Washington's stats. Yeah, I just want to say I pulled up Washington's stats real quick, and he actually had 30 receptions and 5 touchdowns, and he played in almost every single game. So I don't get why he'd be whining about getting to train all that.
Who knows?
Anyway, sorry, I was off topic.
I think Griffin. I don't really know if he could fit that role, to be honest. I just feel like he hasn't had enough experience in my mind. I don't know if that sounds a little wrong, but I just feel like I feel like he's a little bit not there yet to be commentating on things and critiquing players and commenting about the game and, saying stuff that, they should know, or saying stuff that, like, I just don't think it's necessarily his time yet if he wanted to join that.
That's a great point, Cam. And one thing, I want to add on to that is, like, it just shows another example of athletes, once they retire, taking away broadcasting jobs from other people that have been going to school and, making a career out of being a part of the media industry. It just takes away jobs, seeing athletes just going and joining. I get why they do that. I've mentioned this before on my YouTube channel, but I get why they do that sometimes, because, it allows more people to want to watch. They want to be like, oh, there's one of my favorite players, they're on TV. They're going to be talking about the game, doing pre-race or pre-game show. You know what I'm saying? But it also takes away jobs from other people. So that's just my take on it.
Yeah, I agree with you there. So free agent Quan Alexander picked up by the Saints. Vikings announced that they released 2020 first-round pick Jeff Gladney. Raiders signed free agent defensive tackle Gerald McCoy. Next up, we also have a big fight at Giants training camp, which led Daniel Jones to the bottom of the pile and the head coach Joe Judge being livid, making most of the team run laps. So, what's you guys' opinions on this?
I did see this and I couldn't really find any video of it, which kind of sucked. I was looking for some, but I couldn't find anything. But there was just more like a lot of interviews and all this. But anyways, my mind about it, I kind of think that it's a little bit stupid that, this happened because, if you didn't know, Kelvin Benjamin was recently kicked off the team, but also came out saying that the Giants, team was not getting along really well. I still think he needs to lay off the Big Macs, but, he's got a valid point. And, I think that's a little stupid. And plus, I don't know if like Daniel Jones was necessarily talking smack or if he just kind of got in the middle of it, maybe trying to break his team up. But the Giants need to get a hold of that because that's their star QB. Him, Saquon, and a couple other guys really are what builds up the offense. So, I really think, without them, they're really just going to crumble into pieces. So hopefully they can figure something out.
Yeah, it's crazy. NFC East is going to be yet again another bad year for them.
Well, yeah, of course, they're the NFC least, and this is coming from a Washington fan
and a Philly fan.
My opinion on it, we've seen fights a lot at training camp. The high and raw emotion, that's going to cause some fights. But when your quarterback's at the bottom of the pile, I don't know about that, man. You got to keep your quarterback safe. I don't know how to feel about it. Giants aren't my team, so I don't really care.
Maybe they just wanted to send a message about how bad their front office is and why they don't want Daniel Jones.
Yeah, very true.
Be their starting quarterback.
Carson Wentz is undergoing foot surgery, and he will be out 10 to 12 weeks. Colts once again taking another low blow when their O-line superstar Quentin Nelson is out indefinitely due to having foot surgery. So that's a lot of feet surgery.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, you go. My bad.
no, I was gonna hand it off to you.
Oh, cool. Yeah, like looking at this, I feel bad for the Colts, man. The two superstars with foot injuries, like that's not really a good look. I don't know if they got like a bad case of, I don't know, like is it just the training equipment or is it, who knows what it is, but yeah, it's not really looking good for them. I hope Carson Wentz and the other guy can, get back to full health. It sucks to see. And I don't know. I don't know who's starting. I think they're gonna have Jacob Eason starting for quarterback, and that's rough. That's rough. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I mean the Colts are going to struggle. Like I think everyone will expect that. Like they're probably not going to have a good season. And regardless, training camp, they usually have a lot of injuries in training camp. We've seen stars throughout the years and players like even trying to get onto teams get injured, have season-ending injuries, and it's not uncommon in spring training, or summer. Why did I say spring training? Summer, training camp. I was thinking MLB there for a second, which is going to be coming up next. But anyways, I'm telling you, this season I haven't seen much of injuries in the training camps. I honestly haven't until now with the Colts. I haven't heard there hasn't been any big name stars getting injured, so that's kind of good to see,
Yeah, I mean, the only real opinion I have on this, because I don't have a problem with the Colts, but the only real opinion I have on this is basically this is why I set my fantasy league after preseason because of stuff like this.
All right, let's go on. Let's go on to the MLB, guys. Athletics outfielder. I'm gonna murder this guy's name. Raymond Loreno receives an 80-game PED suspension. Now I'm feeling familiar with the Athletics. This is one of the good top guys. He was really good this year, which is somewhat surprising. And now it makes sense. He was using drugs that helps his game. I think it was steroids. I'm not sure though. That's definitely not a good look. I honestly think that at this point, the Athletics should just forfeit their season. And it's also kind of just a little coincidental that the Ramon guy, he actually used to be on the Astros when they were cheating. So, I mean, it's just really not a good look for him. So, I don't know what they can do about it. But like I said, I think they should forfeit the season. It's not fair to the other teams.
Kind of harsh there about them forfeiting the rest of their games. But Ramon Laureano, he's pretty decent. He's a pretty good player. I've seen him improve a little bit over the past couple seasons, but PEDs are not it, man. Why do you think you were not going to get caught?
Yeah. I really have no opinion on this. I've never even heard of the guy.
Marlins infielder Eddie Alvarez will become the sixth athlete ever to have a medal in both summer and winter sports, which includes baseball and inshore track speed skating, which I've never heard of. But I guess he got a medal in it, so congrats.
Great stuff. Great stuff. You don't see that every day.
And it was for USA.
Sport stars.
Sounds really cool. And I know that this is about the NBA, and we haven't gotten to the NBA yet. But another Olympic thing that happened is JaVale McGee and his mother are the first ever mother and son duo to ever receive a gold medal in the Olympics in their respective sports.
Did not know that, but that is very cool as well. What do you know? Dodgers get Braves pitcher Cole Hamels. I really don't have a big opinion on this. I don't really know why they picked him up. Honestly, I kind of feel like it was a little bit of a waste, which, at the same time, though, the Dodgers got money to waste. They're practically looking like Elon Musk over there. So, does it really matter at this point? I'm not sure.
Well, the Dodgers, my second favorite team, got a pitcher from my favorite team. So, not too disappointed. But at the same time, Cole Hamels, he's been in the league for a long time. I remember, if I'm correct, he used to play for the Los Angeles Angels back in the day. I may be wrong. And for the Phillies. So I think it's a pretty good pickup because he's a veteran. But at the same time, I don't know what he's going to do out on the field.
Right.
Yeah, I really have no opinion on it. Again, I'm sorry, but yeah.
Now this one kind of upsets me because I like this guy. Angels third baseman Anthony Rendon will undergo hip surgery to repair a right hip. This hurts, man. I like Anthony Rendon. He's always been a nice guy. He's very humble. I kind of think he's very underrated in my mind. And this sucks to see. And he's gonna miss a lot of game time actually. And I think he won't be back until either the 2022 or 2023 season. I mean, it's really just depending on how he ends up and how healthy he'll feel. But he's definitely out for the rest of the season, which does suck because I really do like this guy. He has put on a show for a lot of Angels fans and for me as well.
He'll definitely be back. He's bounced back from injuries before. Definitely one of the nicest players in the MLB, and as we've mentioned before, and I know Mike says he's one of his favorite players as well. And I really like Rendon, and it's unfortunate to see him out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, that sucks, and hopefully he can come back soon. I miss him in DC.
Alrighty, guys. So now let's move on to the NBA. We've had a lot of interesting things in the past 2 weeks, but we'll get into what happened this past week. A lot of trades, a lot of free agency, a lot of players moving around. I'm glad Chris Paul, first off, glad he came to his senses and decided to re-sign with the Phoenix Suns, because when I saw the rumor that he might be going to LA, I was like, I mean, it would be a good pickup for them. But at the same time, he almost won the championship this year. Why would you leave? So it's good to see him back with the Suns. What do y'all think about him?
I mean, if you guys didn't see last episode, I actually talked about Chris Paul about this, and why I said, this is a great example of why I think he didn't deserve the ring. And some people would hate me for saying that, but I'm glad he's finally coming back to his senses. Because really, that was a stupid quote he made. I don't know why he would do that. I really do think the Suns are his last hope. That's no offense. So let's see what he can do with them. I'd love to beat them again in the finals as a Giannis fan. You know what I mean? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's cool. Mike?
Yeah, I'm glad that he actually came to his senses and re-signed with the Suns. I know I said in the last episode that, it was kind of stupid, but at the same time, I was kind of thinking that he just wanted more money, and he was just doing that so he'd get more money. I mean, that's the trick these players do, But Kawhi Leonard did the same
it's
thing.
Crazy, yeah, Kawhi, I feel the same way about him. I'm glad he's staying with the team. The money thing, it's interesting. It shows you what money could do. It shows you how people use it and think they could just get as much money as they want because they're kind of greedy. I'm not saying everyone's like that, but I'm saying it just shows you money can make you a greedier person. And Chris Paul, he's been in the league for what, 16 years? How much money do you think he has? Why would he want an even larger contract when you could use the money to try to get other players on the team that'll help you win the championship?
Shoot.
And with Kawhi Leonard, I'm glad he's staying with the Clippers. I've always liked Kawhi Leonard. I wish he stayed with Toronto after they won the finals that year. But I'm just glad he's staying with one team because it seems like the last 3 seasons he's going to different teams, moving around. I'm glad he's just staying. I'm glad he's staying for good. And I feel like it's a great thing for the Clippers. I feel like they could have definitely made the NBA Finals this year. I predicted them to make it against the Nets. And because Kawhi was out injured, they didn't make it. And they beat the Suns without him. Paul George had a great series. He had a great playoffs and proved everyone wrong. So I feel like the Clippers will be pretty strong as well this upcoming season.
Yeah, with the whole Kawhi thing, I'm just gonna say this real quickly, is that I do think that I'm glad he's going back because really they made it to the playoffs. It's kind of like a rebuild of the team. I think that he should stick with this team, and I think sooner or later they're gonna make something good happen.
Yeah, I mean they've been around for a while, and I mean I know that they couldn't control, at the time when the guys were injured. I mean we saw PG-13 coming out swinging when Leonard was hurt. So maybe if Leonard can stay healthy, I mean this is really all the NBA is going to be this year. If I must be so honest, like if these teams can stay healthy, because we have a lot of good contenders when these teams are healthy. I mean in the West we got the Warriors, we got the Lakers now, even though they're aging and injury prone, like I'm mentioning. We got the Mavericks, kind of, Clippers, Suns, of course. So it will definitely be interesting to see if these teams can stay healthy. Um, I I'm personally not a big fan of the super teams, but I don't know. We'll have to see what happens.
Yes, for real. And moving on, another one of the top topics in the NBA actually came out on Friday that the NBA is investigating a sign and trade tampering that went on with Kyle Lowry going to the Heat and with Lonzo Ball going to the Chicago Bulls. And it took me by surprise to hear about this, but we also have to think about what Zach LaVine said before the Olympics started. He said that there was players tampering during the training when they were training for Team USA before they left for the Olympics. So now thinking about what Zach LaVine said, it makes sense. I hope it's not true. I thought the trades were good. To be honest with you, it's sad to see Kyle Lowry leave the Raptors, and thankfully they're going to be retiring his jersey once he retires. I don't know if the tampering happened on the Kyle Lowry end, but because of what Zach LaVine said, it makes sense why there could be tampering on the Chicago Bulls end. And I just want to mention this as well. Lauri Markkanen, your team is really good right now. Why do you want to leave? Like, I don't know if you heard about this, but Lauri Markkanen, one of the, I won't say he's a star, but he's uprising solid big man for the Chicago Bulls, and he's now wanting to leave all of a sudden when they're getting good players, and there's a possibility of Chicago getting more stars. So it's crazy why he wants to do that. But anyways, what's y'all's thoughts?
Well,
you can go, Mike. It's good.
he probably wanted to leave even before they got all the good players, because remember, Chicago was a mid-tier, low-level team, and I wouldn't have blamed him for wanting to leave. But now, they got Lonzo Ball. He's a pretty solid player if you want to start a rebuild. They got DeMar DeRozan. He's still a very solid player. So
Yeah.
I think the Bulls are a play-in team. I think that they could potentially squeeze their way into the play-in, maybe the playoffs. So I'm glad about the Bulls right now. They got a bright future.
Yeah. I don't see. This is going to see where my low basketball IQ kind of comes in at times. I don't really understand what they could tamper with. I just don't see where the tampering could, be at. That just didn't really make sense to me. I mean, if they find something, and I'll see really, what it is. But I just don't understand how they could necessarily tamper with the trades and all that. But that's really all I got to say about it. If they do get caught, I hope they get a reasonable punishment.
I think the only reason that they need to tamper with is, let's say the Pelicans or the Raptors, respectively, were trying to re-sign them, and all of a sudden the Heat comes in. But I mean, then again, it's free agency. They opted to be free agents, so I don't know. I honestly don't know where there is to tamper. So I guess we'll figure it out in the coming days. Hopefully, it doesn't get vetoed again, like with CP3 to the Lakers.
Yeah, we'll see. It'll be interesting. And with moving on to the Players Association, CJ McCollum became the new president of that, which a lot of people were surprised about him getting that title. Chris Paul was the president of that for a long time. So it definitely took me by surprise that CJ McCollum would be now the new president. But at the same time, McCollum's also one of the nicest players in the league, and he seems to get along with everybody. Stephen Curry, he signed a huge deal, a humongous contract extension with the Warriors, 4 years, $215 million. That is insane. We also have Kemba Walker going to the Knicks. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander agreed to a 5-year contract, maximum rookie contract extension with the Thunder, which is really huge for the Thunder, but I don't think it's going to do them any good. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs for another 2 seasons. Yeah, Blake Griffin, of course, re-signing with the Nets. What are you going to say, Cam?
I listen. Now, some people may say they may hate you for this, right? But I think Stephen Curry deserves more than what he's got. What he's got. I do. I think he deserves more.
Wow.
I do. I really do think he deserves more. I know that sounds messed up. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think he's really rich enough, right? He probably doesn't need more. But I feel like for how he plays, I mean, he's legit carrying the Warriors right now. There is nobody else right now, in that past season that has really helped them out a big time. I mean, yeah, you've had those players that have helped them out. But, I mean, statistically, if you look, Steph Curry's done it all. I bet you at least half or more of the points that the Warriors have made this season in total, it's been Steph Curry.
Yeah, Curry's now knowing what LeBron felt for many years in Cleveland. Blake Griffin re-signed with the Nets, no surprise. JaVale McGee going to the Suns. He seems to be switching teams every year as well. Let's see. He went to the Warriors a while back ago when they were winning. Then he went to the Cavs. And he was with the Lakers, and then he's just going everywhere. So 1-year deal. He's probably going to leave the next season. We got Alex Caruso signing with the Bulls. Derrick Rose returning to New York. Trae Young obviously was going to re-sign with the Hawks. We had Jared Allen re-signing with the Cavs, which I felt like his contract was really high. I didn't think his contract should have been that much, but he is a really good player defensively, rebounding. He just needs to score more. I feel like he needs to improve in regarding the shooting aspect of the game. We got Jimmy Butler re-signing, Mike Conley, Lonzo Ball going up to the Bulls. We mentioned that with DeMar DeRozan. We got Andre Iguodala return to the Warriors. So that came to no surprise. I felt like a lot of people were wanting him to return to the Warriors because he was with them throughout their title runs. And one thing I just want to mention too before we move on to soccer, LiAngelo Ball, he's returning to the Hornets, or he's not returning. He's basically joining the Hornets summer league team, and he's going to be playing hopefully alongside his brother LaMelo. And one last thing, Damian Lillard, come to Philly.
Yeah, definitely some interesting stuff going on in the NBA right now. So now let's talk about some soccer, even though I don't know anything about soccer, but I'll just talk about it. Lionel Messi will no longer be with Barcelona. The club has said, despite club and player reaching an agreement and their clear intention to sign a new contract, it won't happen because of financial and structural issues.
He actually,
to get my idea on this, I really just look at this and, because originally I honestly was surprised that, he was even going to go back to Barcelona. And it actually just came out, I think the other day, he even said that he even tried lowering his salary to play for Barcelona. And it didn't happen, and it didn't work out for him. And, I kind of just can't, believe that, I'm still a little shocked that they just kind of gave away like that, even when he was lowering his contract. I mean, they must have done some really stupid stuff if they can't get their star player back. And, I now kind of wonder who's going to go get Messi. It's kind of like the chase for Messi now. And, it's going to be exciting to see.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, he signed with Paris Saint-Germain Germain, which his former teammate Neymar is on the team, so they have a little bit of a reunion. I feel like they could have a better chance of winning the championship. But it definitely is very weird seeing him it's gonna be weird not seeing him in a Barcelona jersey.
Yeah. In the Gold Cup, the USA, won the gold medal against Mexico, 1-0. I'd like to say this though. This is a very boring game. I actually was there to watch it because, why wouldn't I? And it went for forever. It actually went into overtime. And, I think at one point I was just begging God, please just let this in. And USA won. And, that's always exciting to see, especially in soccer for men's. I mean, it's been a while.
Yep. Well, not every good game is going to be high scoring. I felt like it was a good game. I actually really enjoyed watching that game. What about you, Mike?
I did not watch the game because I forgot it was happening, to be completely honest, but I'm very happy the U.S. won. Congratulations to them, and I'm proud.
I just want to say this real quick before we get into the top 10. I just want to say that the USA men's team won the gold medal, which as we predicted, we didn't think that was going to happen considering how bad they were at the very beginning, but they turned things around and got the win. They beat Spain in a very close matchup. I thought that was a really good game in the gold medal match. And I also want to say that there's a lot of stuff going on in the Olympics, so we're not going to be able to cover it tonight, unfortunately.
In
So
basketball?
we do apologize for that. I'm talking about I just talked about basketball, and then I'm talking about the rest.
No, they won against France in basketball.
Oh, France! Why did I say Spain? I meant France.
Yeah. I also thought you said soccer too, but it doesn't matter. My point is, honestly, on that opinion of USA basketball, it was a rocky road this year, man. We had some up and downs. Like truly, I really just can't believe that, like, we lost so many games. Like, even though they didn't necessarily count, on some of them, it was still depressing to see because we're supposed to have the best players out there in the world, and it didn't really look like it. But they kind of stepped their A game up, so that's nice to see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that they stepped their A game up. I mean, I was a big critic of them. I really thought that they were sucking and that they weren't going to win the gold medal, but no, they proved me wrong, and I'm very happy that they did.
Actually, there's a lot of stuff going on in the Olympics. As I mentioned, we won't be able to cover all of it tonight. I do want to point out that I thought it was kind of interesting to see that someone from Greece won the gymnastics event. I do not know how to pronounce his name, so I'm not going to try. And then an Italian won the 100 meters in the men's event. So that was pretty surprising and really cool to see.
Yep. And now it's time for the top 10 plays of the week. Coming in at number 10, we have Javier Baez, who slides into home and moves away from the tag. He's been very famously known for doing this. Here's the clip.
You are watching a master at work.
And at number 9 is Hunter Renfroe, bullet throw to second to get the runner out. Here's the clip.
Coming in at number 8, we got Matthew Stafford's no-look throw to Henderson Jr. Roll the clip.
God. Fumble.
Number 7, we have Chase Claypool with a diving catch in the actual game, which I think is more impressive than at training camp, which you'll see some of these. Here's a clip.
Field and not too worried.
Yeah. Thanks for stopping by. Glad that you feed Zeke. Gifts aren't done. Oh, what do we got?
Oh no.
We got a big completion there into Chase Claypool, who had to reach out, being covered by Nashawn Wright, the rookie from Oregon State. 45 yards, and then Claypool is banged up at the end of this as he had to lay out for it. Well, Claypool had looked.
And at number 6 is Brian Edwards with an amazing catch at Raiders training camp. Here's the clip.
At number 5, we got a player leaping over the fence, catching the ball, but the refs did not count this play, but it definitely deserves the spot it's at. Roll the clip.
Number 4, Colts wide receiver Zach Pascal, not sure, putting cornerbacks on skates. Here's the clip.
In at number 3 is Chris Bryant hitting his first home run in the Giants Stadium at his first at-bat with the team. Here's the clip.
1, 2, cha-cha-cha.
Deep left field. It is a home run. Chris Bryant, in his first game as a Giant, has hit a home run for the Giants' first run of the day. Bryant, the Giant, is what the sign said. 2-1 Houston.
And at number 2, we got Miles John's stunning knocking out Dos Santos. Roll the clip.
The lights out. What a performance by Miles John. That was beautiful. That's him loading up the right hand. Look at that. Now the right hand is chambered and then bang right over the top. He smashes Dos Santos right here. Johns has been throwing to the body quite a bit here, but this time he turns. But notice how his body turns, Bruce. He did.
Talent in the top 20 or so in this bantamweight division. Enter.
And at number 1, Cowboys wide receiver CeeDee Lamb, which I think is going to be great, with a crazy one-handed catch, kind of like OBJ. Here's the clip.
And so with that will conclude this week's episode of the Nasboys Sports Podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this weird, interesting episode. We will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Peace.